RJ Reynolds was a legendary American entrepreneur. The RJ Reynolds Tobacco Company remains at the forefront of the industry. His son, RJ Reynolds Jr., took over the family business until 1964 when he died of emphysema caused by smoking. His son, RJ Reynolds III, died the same way. His other son, Patrick, though, refused to follow in the family business. Instead, he's established himself as the first tobacco industry figure to speak out against smoking. This week, he brought his message to Somerset County, and speaking to students at Watchung Hills High School, he sounded a wake-up call to teens. This was RJ Reynolds Jr. in 1945. Less than 20 years later, he died of emphysema from using the cigarette brands he manufactured. His son Patrick has made it his mission to shed light on the dangers of smoking and warn teenagers they're the smoking industry's prey. He says while other manufacturers like Philip Morris have opted to produce anti-smoking campaigns, the Reynolds company is not. He says Reynolds is marketing itself as the brand for rebels.
By being a rebel, by being an outlaw, who is RJR appealing to?
By adding candy flavoring to Camels and putting wrappers on the cover of Kools, tobacco companies are relying on adolescents to make up for the growing number of adults who quit.
This is outrageous. This is probably one of the biggest abuses of the privilege of freedom of speech that I've ever seen.
While the advertisements appear more aggressively skewed to younger demographics, Reynolds says New Jersey is doing very little to shield kids from the dangers that lurk in their first puff. He's calling for higher levels of funding for the state's youth smoking prevention programs, specifically to designate more than just 1% of the billion-dollar revenue the state collects each year in tobacco settlements. He applauds the Garden State for imposing a $2.40 per pack tax and the recent Clean Indoor Air Act.